The story of Sanskrit. The main characters are God Shiva, God Kartikeya, Rishi Panini, Rishi Vararuchi, Rishi Varsha, Shastrakaras, Vayadi, and Indradatta. We attribute the beauty of Sanskrit language to the great Rishi Panini. Rishi Panini is famous for Ashtadhyayi, the central part of Paninian grammar and by far the most complex one. This is the story of Rishi Panini, who from being a blockhead later turned out to be the father of the modern scientific language, Sanskrit. This story is based on the Gunadhya's Brihad Katha tradition that was originally in Paishaki language. Presently available are its two Sanskrit recensions, the Brihad Katha Manjari by Shemendra and Katha Sarita Sagara by Somadeva. Meanwhile, Shiva temples have got a mandapam, a pavilion called Vyakarana Dana Mandapam. Why should there be a mandapa for grammar in Shiva temples? What is Shiva's connection with language? Is not Shiva in the form of Dakshinamurti all silence? Let's explore it today. In the ancient region of Gandhara, there was a town called Salatura, which existed at the junction of Indus and Kabul rivers. Panini was born to Panina and Dakshi. The year of birth is not established conclusively. Panini was not a very bright student in his childhood. One day, his father Panina decided to meet a palmist to seek the future in store for the child. The palmist examined the child's palm and after the child had visibly disappeared from the place, said that Panini was fated to be an illiterate fool because the line of education was missing from his palm. Panini overheard the conversation and asked the palmist to tell him where line of education would be on the palm. When the palmist answered this question, Panini carved the line at the place on his palm through a sharp object. The palmist and the father Panina were flabbergasted. In the meantime, Shastrakaras Indradatta and Vayadi, after being orphaned, though had wealth, were deciding to acquire learning and went to the southern region to supplicate Lord Kartikeya. While they were engaged in austerities, the god gave them the following revelation in a dream. There is a city called Pataliputra, the capital of King Nanda, and in it there is a Brahmin named Varsha. From him you shall learn all knowledge, therefore go there. Based on the direction from god Kartikeya, Shastrakaras Indradatta and Vayadi reached the city of Pataliputra. They reached Guru Varsha's house and from preceptor's wife learned the story about their guru and the reason for their poverty. There lived in the city Pataliputra an excellent Brahmin named Shankaraswamin. He had two sons, Varsha and Upavarsha. Varsha was stupid and poor and his younger brother was just the opposite. And Upavarsha appointed his own wife to manage his elder brother's house. Then in the course of time the rainy season came on. And at this time the women were in the habit of making a cake of flour mixed with molasses of an unbecoming and disgusting taste, and giving it to any Brahmin. This cake is said to remove their discomfort caused by season or weather. But when it is given, Brahmins refuse to receive it on the ground that the custom is a disgusting one. This cake was presented by Varsha's sister-in-law to him, together with a sacrificial fee. He received it and brought it home, and got a severe scolding from his wife. Then Guru Varsha began to be inwardly consumed with grief at his own stupidity, and went to worship at the foot of the god Kartikeya. The god, pleased with his austerities, bestowed on him the knowledge of all the sciences, and gave him this order: when you find a Brahmin who can recollect what he has heard only once, then you may reveal these. After hearing the story of the Guru Varsha, Shastrakaras Indradatta and Vayadi handed over few gold coins to their preceptor's wife and went in all directions to find the Brahmin who can recollect what he had heard only once, so that their guru can start teaching them. In the city of Kaushambi there lived a Brahmin called Somadatta, and his wife was called Vasudatta. Vararuchi was their only son. Somadatta died while Vararuchi was very young and he was brought up by his mother. One day, two Brahmins came to Vararuchi's house to stop a night, exceedingly dusty with a long journey. They were Shastrakaras Indradatta and Vayadi. They came to know that Vararuchi can remember by heart everything that he has heard once. They remembered their guru Varsha and expressed interest to take Vararuchi along with them to Pataliputra. Vasudetta with respect said, "All this tallies completely. I repose confidence in your tale. For long ago, at the birth of her only son, a divine voice was heard from heaven. A boy has been born who shall be able to remember what he had heard once. He shall acquire knowledge from Varsha and shall make the science of grammar famous in the world. And he shall be called Vararuchi by name, because whatever is excellent shall please him." The science of grammar prevalent at the time was the Indra school of grammar, gifted by Lord Indra. Shastrakaras Indradatta and Vayadi along with Vararuchi reached Patliputra. Guru Varsha also considered that Vararuchi was the favour of Lord Kartikeya arrived in bodily form and started teaching them the Vedas and the 6 supplementary sciences, which is the Vedangas. Vararuchi retained whatever learnt after hearing once. Vayadi retained whatever learnt after hearing twice. And Indradatta retained whatever learnt after hearing thrice. The Brahmanas of the city came at once from all the quarters to see this new thing, and with their revered mouths praised Varsha and honoured with low bows. Moreover, the king Nanda of exalted fortune, seeing the power of the boon of the son of Lord Shiva, was delighted and immediately filled the house of Varsha with wealth, showing him every mark of respect. Now in course of time, Varsha got a great number of pupils, and among them there was Panini from the northwest province. As we know from the Gandhara episode, Panini, being a dull student and wearied out with service, was sent away by the preceptor's wife. Being disgusted at it and longing for learning, Panini went to the Himalaya to perform austerities. Then he obtained from the god who wears the moon as a crest, propitiated by his severe austerities, a new grammar, the source of all learning. Thereupon Rishi Panini came and challenged Vararuchi. 7 days passed away in the course of the disputation. On the 8th day, Rishi Panini had been fairly conquered by Vararuchi, but immediately afterwards a terrible menacing sound was uttered by Lord Shiva in the firmament. Owing to that, the Indra grammar was exploded in the world, and all of them, being conquered by Rishi Panini, became accounted fools. Accordingly, full of despondency, Vararuchi deposited in the hand of the merchant Hiranyadatta his wealth for the maintenance of his house, and after informing Upakosha, his wife, of it, he went fasting to Mount Himalaya to propitiate Lord Shiva with austerities. One should also note that it appears Indra's school of grammar was very popular in those days and could have not been easily replaced by the new Paninian grammar unless there was a support from God Shiva himself. By performing a very severe penance, Vararuchi propitiated the god, the husband of Parvati, the great giver of all good things. God Shiva revealed to Vararuchi that same treatise of Panini, and in accordance with his wish, Rishi Vararuchi completed it and then returned home. Now their Guru Varsha expressed a desire to hear from Rishi Vararuchi the new grammar, and thereupon the god Kartikeya himself revealed it to him. Both Rishi Panini and Rishi Vararuchi, at the grace of Ishvara, received the power to witness the Tandava dance of Nataraja. With this divine gift of the Lord, Rishi Panini indeed saw the Tandava and heard the 14 sounds at its conclusion. The final beat of the drum is called Kapu. Similarly, at the end of Nataraja's dance, the Damaruka produced the Kapu sound. Nataraja's Kapu produced 14 sounds. For Rishi Panini, these sounds meant the 14 cardinal sutras of grammar, and on them he based his Ashtadhyayi. As its very name suggests, this work, which is the source book of Sanskrit grammar, has 8 chapters. The 14 sounds are recited at the Upakarma ceremony. Since they emanated from the drum of Maheshwara, they are called Maheshwara Sutras. Human beings can produce only inarticulate sounds on the musical instruments played by them. The hand of Parameshwara is verily the Nada Brahman and Sabda Brahman incarnate. So his Kapu on the Damaruka at the conclusion of his Tandava sounded as a series of 14 letters. How did Panini make use of these 14 sounds? He created an index from the sutras to vocalize the letters or syllables together. We know thus the prime source of grammar is constituted by the Maheshwara Sutras emanating from the drum of Nataraja. Since Parameshwara was the cause of the Sabda Sastras, grammar pavilions have been built in Shiva temples but not in Vishnu shrines. In the Dramila country, it was the Indra grammar that was used as the model for the analysis of a language, resulting in its early grammar, the Tolkapiyam, for the language Tamil. A preface appended to that work states, Vada Vengadam Tenkumari, and which goes on to say, in the assembly of the Pandyan monarch, Nilam Tarutheruvin, with his tongue, the shore of Dharma, knowledgeable in all the four Vedas, Atankuttu Acharya examined and corrected the errors, showing as per undiluted tradition the formation of syllables full of Indra grammar like the ocean of water, presenting his name as Tolgappian. It could be seen that in the Tamil land, the Tolgappiam, the first grammar or the earliest grammar available, was based upon the Indra school of grammar, which was later replaced by Paninian grammar in the Magadha kingdom.